Little brother took his little sister by the hand and said, "Since our mother died, we have had no happiness. Our stepmother beats us every day, and if we come near her, she kicks us away with her foot. Our meals are the hard crusts of bread that are left over, and the little dog under the table is better off, for she often throws it a choice morsel. God pity us if our mother only knew. Come, we will go forth together into the wide world." They walked the whole day over meadows, fields, and stony places, and when it rained, the little sister said, "Heaven and our hearts are weeping together." In the evening they came to a large forest, and they were so weary with sorrow and hunger that they lay down in a hollow tree and fell asleep. The next day when they awoke, the sun was already high in the sky, and shone down hot into the tree. Then the brother said, "Sister, I am thirsty. If I knew of a little brook, I would go and just take a drink. I think I hear one running." The brother got up and took the little sister by the hand, and they set off to find the brook. But the wicked stepmother was a witch, and had seen how the two children had gone away, and had crept after them secretly, as witches creep, and had bewitched all the brooks in the forest. Now when they found a little brook leaping brightly over the stones, the sister heard how it said as it ran, "Who drinks of me will be a tiger. Who drinks of me will be a tiger." Then the sister cried, "Pray, dear brother, do not drink, or you will become a wild beast and tear me to pieces." When they came to the next brook, the sister heard this also say, "Who drinks of me will be a wolf. Who drinks of me will be a wolf." The brother did not drink and said, "I will wait until we come to the next spring, but then I must drink, for my thirst is too great." And when they came to the third brook, the sister heard how it said, "Who drinks of me will be a roebuck. Who drinks of me will be a roebuck." But the brother had knelt down at once, and as soon as the first drops touched his lips, he lay there in the form of a young roebuck. And now the sister wept over her poor bewitched brother, and the little roe wept also, and sat sorrowfully near to her. But at last the girl said, "Be quiet, dear little roe, I will never, never leave you." Then she untied her golden garter and put it round the roebuck's neck, and she plucked rushes and wove them into a soft cord. This she tied to the little animal and led it on, and she walked deeper and deeper into the forest. And when they had gone a very long way, they came at last to a little house, and as it was empty, she thought, "We can stay here and live." Then she sought for leaves and moss to make a soft bed. She went out and gathered roots and berries, and brought tender grass for the roe. In the evening, she laid her head upon the roebuck's back. That was her pillow, and she slept softly on it. And if only the brother had had his human form, it would have been a delightful life. For some time they were alone like this. But it happened that the king of the country held a great hunt. The blasts of the horns, the barking of dogs, and the merry shouts rang. The roebuck heard all and was only too anxious to be there. "Oh," said he to his sister, "let me be off to the hunt." "But," said she, "come back in the evening. Knock and say, 'My little sister, let me in, that I may know you.'" Then the young roebuck sprang away. So happy was he, and so merry in the open air. The king and the huntsman saw the lovely animal. When it was dark, he ran to the cottage, knocked, and said, "My little sister, let me in." Then the door was opened for him. The next day the hunt began again. "Sister, let me out, I must be off." His sister opened the door for him. The huntsmen had surrounded him, and one of them wounded him a little in the foot, so that he limped and ran slowly. Then a hunter crept after him, and heard how he said, "My little sister, let me in," and went to the king and told him. The huntsman took notice of it all. Then the king said, "Tomorrow we will hunt once more." The little sister, however, was dreadfully frightened when she saw that her fawn was hurt. "This time they will kill you. When I hear the bugle horns, I feel as if I must jump out of my skin." Then the sister opened the door for him with a heavy heart. As soon as the sun had set, he knocked and called out, "Dear little sister, let me in." Then the door opened, and there stood a maiden more lovely than any he had ever seen. The maiden was frightened when she saw a man who wore a golden crown, but the king looked kindly at her and said, "Will you go with me to my palace and be my dear wife?" "Yes, indeed," answered the maiden, "but the little roe must go with me." The king said, "It shall stay with you as long as you live." The king took the lovely maiden upon his horse. The wedding was held with great pomp. She was now the queen, but the wicked stepmother, envy and jealousy rose in her heart, and she thought of nothing but how she could bring them again to misfortune. Her own daughter, who was ugly as night and had only one eye, reproached her. "A queen! That ought to have been my luck." As time went on, the queen had a pretty little boy, so the old witch took the form of the chambermaid. They carried the weakly queen into the bathroom, but they had made a fire of such hellish heat that the beautiful young queen was soon suffocated. When this was done, the old woman took her daughter and laid her in bed in place of the queen. The king went away and did not find out, but at midnight the nurse saw the door open and the true queen walk in. She took the child out and suckled it. "How fares my child? How fares my roe? Twice shall I come, then never more." The king said, "Ah God, what is this? Tomorrow night I will watch by the child." At midnight the queen again appeared. "How fares my child? How fares my roe? This time I come, then never more." Then the king could not restrain himself. He sprang towards her, and at the same moment she received life again. The king ordered both to be led before the judge. The daughter was torn to pieces by wild beasts, but the witch was cast into the fire. As soon as she was burnt to ashes, the roebuck changed his shape and received his human form again. So the sister and brother lived happily together all their lives.